Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Solid Podcast. I am your host, Doc Rock. I am back in the podcasting seat after traveling and surgery and getting busy with work. I started slacking on the cast, and for this, I am sorry, but now I am back. I really wanted to get this episode out just to sort of break the ice and, get the crust off. I hope this is not a crusty episode because it's been a minute, but we'll see how this goes. Today's topic: is your phone spying on you? Are you in a situation where you and the homies been standing around talking about something, and pretty much a couple minutes later, you open up your IG feed and then you find an ad very similar to what you were talking about, all of a sudden it shows up in your IG feed? Yeah, that's kind of a common occurrence. And then so as we talk to folks, when I did my research, I put out a couple feelers on the old IG and the FaceBase and the Twittergrams, and I got about 89% folks that really believe that their phone is listening to them. I got the rest were like, they don't care. And the other one, very small, like 2% of the folks saying the answer is no. And then so we're going to answer that question today. And first of all, yes, like I said, anecdotally, there has been situations where you and a homie are talking about something hella random and all of a sudden it just shows up in your feed. So I'm going to explain to you in this version of the Solid Podcast how that works, how that happens, and let you know if your phone is actually listening to you.
What's good, people? It's your man CJ Fresh, battling the forces of whackness since 1982. You are now listening to the Solid Podcast, hosted by my main man, Doc Rock.
ドッグロックによるザ・ソリッドポッドキャストをお届けいたします。
This is the dumbest thing to take this long to put a podcast together.
And here he is, my Uncle Doc. He's smart.
Believe me.
So there's definitely been a situation where you're sitting around and, it could even be that you go shopping and you didn't buy anything, but you might have looked at something. Maybe you looked at new tools. We have a tendency to walk into Woodcraft and mill up and down the aisles and then be like, nah, there's nothing that we need, and then go back to the shop. And then definitely later that day, I'll get hey, you need some more sanding pads? Hey, do you need some furniture wax? Hey, do you need a new Makita drill? Look, these bad boys are on sale at Amazon. And so it becomes creepy. And if you're not very aware of how your phone and your browsers are following you around the internet, it can seem a little creepy. It can seem as if your devices are listening to you. So when I posed this question out to my group, one of my friends, Danny, she says she don't care because if the devices was listening to her, they would hear all the kids screaming and they'd be like, F that, and they turn it off and be like, okay, we're done with her. And then a lot of people gave anecdotal situations of, yeah, they went somewhere, they, were talking to their friends, they're having dinner, and all of a sudden they start getting ads for things that came up in the conversation. And so when you start to dig into this, it does seem a little creepy, especially when you figure your majority of the ad network that's out right now is sort of run by Facebook. Now, whether you're buying Google ads or Facebook ads, or, you're not necessarily buying them, maybe you're just consuming them because they happen to be on the sites that you're on. These guys are so good at collecting data that it comes off almost as if they're clairvoyant. Like sometimes, and I can explain why, they even know what you need before you know you need it, and you actually get reminded by them that it's time for a new set of tires. Now, let me explain to you how this works. Facebook uses a technology known as a Facebook Pixel. And what happens is, say you go to your favorite blog, for like my buddy Tony out there, he's at a photo blog and he's like, maybe checking out Petapixel, and they're talking about, the new Fuji overly expensive camera that's almost as good as my Sony. And what will happen is there's a button on there that says, hey, like this post. So if you just visit that site, not only does that site record a cookie of you, but Facebook Pixel actually tracks things like how long did you linger on the site, if there's a shopping cart, if you added anything to the cart and didn't buy it, maybe you deleted the cart, maybe you checked out discount codes, trying to see if any of the promo codes that from Black Friday still work. Yeah, I do that because sometimes they do work in like March because the site people aren't keeping up. But basically, yes. So in that pixel information, whether you know it or not, you're leaving a humongous footprint of a lot of information about you. Now, what most people are afraid of is their personal information. And no, they might not know your name specifically or whatever, but they have a general idea of where you live because of location. They will have, from that location data, they'll have a general idea of what possibly your household size would be. So for instance, here in Kaka'ako, nothing here is much bigger than a 3-bedroom. So they will guesstimate that you are young, single, maybe newly married, new homeowner, living in a condominium in the art district of Honolulu. And, they'll take all that data, and from that, they even can gather about what your household income is or your household size. Because you just look at Zillow, you can tell what all the, a 1-bedroom in Kaka'ako is $1 million. So like they know that. So they're going to target those ads accordingly, right? Now, say also you just so happen to meet up with a friend for coffee and you guys are friends on Facebook. Well, Facebook now knows that you guys are together. And assuming that based off of your likes, which I can show you in a little bit how to find what Facebook knows about you, they will turn around and take something that I'm into and then say present it to Tony or Jason or like my buddy Day or somebody like that. They will show you ads based off of something I might have purchased or shopped for. And then so you get this creepy feeling sometimes when you have a conversation. If I'm shopping for tires, I might ask one of the homies at the bar, I was like, hey, you guys got any hookups? And they'll be like, yeah, go see Dennis at Lex Brody and he'll give you a deal. Well, it will have known that Jason just recently bought tires and I'm looking for tires. So it's going to show me an ad for Lex Brody. Bam. Now it looks creepy. It looks like we talked about tires and all of a sudden they're showing me Lex Brody's ads. But they already know that I'm in the market for tires because I was looking for them online and Facebook Pixel showed me that information. Now, the other thing that they're going to do, say based off of my location data of all the places that I go, it realizes that I've probably put about 20,000 miles on the whip. So it's going to start reminding you at 20,000 miles, you might be in the market for tires. So it will tickle you a tire ad, even though you haven't brought it up. And because you're not thinking about it, you don't notice that ad. But at around 30-ish thousand is when tires kind of die. You're going to get heavily inundated with those tire ads because it knows that your car is X amount of time and you've put this much mileage on it. So you're probably due for tires. So that's why it's so creepy when it seems like they know what you want even before you want it. Now, take it like for myself, I don't shave anymore, but I used to get, ads for, Harry's Shave Club and Dollar Shave Club. And now I just use the, one blade to keep the dome smooth because, I keep the dome nice and shiny. And those blades last about every 3 months. And without even trying, about every 3 months, I all of a sudden start getting, Target has one blade, replacements on sale, or Amazon has them on sale, or they'll just start marketing me other balding type equipment. I get ads for, I think it's called Keeps. Maybe they assume I want my hair back. I don't. I actually like it like this because it's hella sexy. You can't tell from the podcast. But yeah, so with these kind of things, this is how they know that you need the things that you need when you need it, and you might not even know you need it. And all of this sounds creepy, but what you need to know, is when you visit a site and the site drops a cookie and Facebook has a pixel maybe connected to that cookie or the advertisements on their site, they collect some 52,000 data points on folks. And that's everything from your credit, your purchases, any loyalty cards that you may have, because loyalty cards kind of tend to show off your shopping preferences. When you go to the store and you sign up for a loyalty card for, say, like Target or Safeway, in the terms of service, it even will say, like, this is the information that we're going to share back. So now, let me show you how to find out what they actually know about you. Go to Facebook. I think Google has the same thing, but I'm going to talk about the Facebook way because Facebook's the most creepy. Let's just get that out there. If you go to Facebook and click on settings, right? So like sort of there's a little diamond thing in the corner of the page on the right side. Scroll down to settings. Once you get to settings, you're going to scroll down till you see ads. When you click on ads, you're going to get this page, and it talks about your interests, advertisers and businesses, your information, and I think the bottom one is sort of like your ad settings, okay? If you were to look on to your interests, no, I take that back. That's not the right one. If you were to look on advertisers and businesses, it will show you a list of sites that you probably visited that had a pixel that sends some information about you back up to Facebook. So everyone's paranoid and they think that they're spying, but you actually left the Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs everywhere you went. And most people don't know that they're doing this, right? So if I go to visit, again, let's go on tires. I go to lexbrodys.com and I go, hey, you know what? I don't need them for a couple of months. I'll come back later. Lex Brodys has already uploaded information about me from my browser maybe. Or if I visited the store, my phone will then turn around and tell them that I came in, So that's how they have the information. So know your phone's not listening. Now let me tell you how you know your phone is not listening. Most folks aren't necessarily on the unlimited plans anymore because carriers went out of their way to get those sort of unlimited plans to go bye-bye. So most people have a limit. Now, you know good and well, if you hit all of your data for the month, data if you will, your phone will slow down to a crawl. So if you just pay attention to the network traffic on your phone, which you can check, you can actually go in an iPhone to your battery setting, and your battery setting will show you what apps are doing what in the background, and you cannot even get a sense of how much data they're sending. Your phone is not sending enough data to record everything you say. So let's just take that one and throw it right out the window. Your phone would overheat, your battery would last about 20 minutes if they were recording everything you say. Let's just understand that. Like, there's not enough power in the phone or bandwidth in the internet for just 360 million Americans to be sending all of this data back and forth. Let's not even talk about the rest of the world. We're sitting on 8 billion people. So just know for a fact that your phone is not spying on you. Let's just get that out of the way. It's not. And there's ways to test this. And actually, there was a company called Wandera. They were an analytics and security research company. They took Android phones just because they're easier to set these tests up. And they put them in the room where there's noise. And then they put them in the room where it's dead silence. And they compared the data that, was transferred in and out of the phone, and the results were negligible. So that was how they sort of knew that these devices weren't directly spying on you as far as the way you think. So long and short of it is you kind of leave enough information on your own, liking likes, sharing things you talk about, online. That information alone sort of tells them what they're doing. Now, before this sounds completely peachy and you let your guard down, hold that thought. There are creepy apps, like someone tells you to download this game, and games from let's say, shoddy developers, they can put in a code base known as Alfonso. And what Alfonso would do was your kids are playing these games and it would listen to the TV ads in the background. And from the TV ads kind of gather where you are and where you live and how much you probably make in that. And that's super creepy. So don't download weird games from any weird place. If it's not a reputable, game developer, probably don't put that mess on your phone. But normally once these guys get caught, the Google Play Store and the Apple iTunes Store will throw them out right away, or they'll make them change their stuff. So for the most part, that Alfonso library that was doing the creepy listening to your kids and what was going on, that kind of went away. But as boring as it is, you have to look at those terms of service. Those terms of service are going to let you know what kind of information is going to be shared. So going back to what Facebook is collecting, I'm looking at mine, and I checked out Airbnbs because I'm going to Seattle. So Airbnb told them I was looking for Airbnb. And DJI told them maybe that I needed new propellers for my drone. What else do they have on here? It says Adidas sent them information. Why? Because I bought some new kicks. And it says that TNT Drama sent something. What was I watching on TNT? I don't know, but something I went to TNT's website is there. Home Depot is on here. Home Depot sent them information. Why? I went to Home Depot and bought plywood the other day. CNN sent them stuff. I'm on CNN every day. Bed Bath & Beyond must have come from, I visited the store in Hawaii because they're closing and I wanted to see what else was out there. Now, here's an interesting one. According to Facebook, Warby Parker sent them information. Why? My prescription is up next month and I'm probably going to be shopping for glasses soon. So looking at this, in the next couple of days, I'm going to start seeing Warby Parker ads in my Facebook feed. You see, so it's nothing really creepy. They're not listening to me talking about needing new glasses. They just know. It's kind of funny, but they do. And even Esurance in there because I recently got a new car. And they're going to probably advertise to me to, change my car insurance. I went to Starbucks today, and Starbucks told Facebook I went to Starbucks. Even they don't have to advertise to me there. I'm there every day. So, yeah, this is some, as you look and you see what they're sharing, you'll find out that they don't have to listen to your phone to know what to advertise to you about. Just the people you are around and the places that you go and the things you talk about online is enough to let them know. So that makes life altogether better. Now, I'm going to show you how to fix this. If you are still 108% paranoid, you can go into the settings of your phone and you can click on Facebook, Instagram, and the other apps that you use. Even some of these games, you go check them in the settings on your phone and it will say has access to the mic, has access to the location. You can just slide the little slider and turn that off. Now, to accompany this, I will make a video version that shows up on YouTube. So you can go to youtube.com/DocRock and you'll have the ability to sort of see ways that you can stop this. I'll show you full on examples. And so look forward to that. But, primarily, if you're responsible, you pay attention to terms of service and you go into your settings and flick off, sort of microphone, camera, and location access to apps that you don't trust, then you don't have to worry about this. And you'll start to notice some of those quote unquote creepy ads will start to disappear. So once again, wrap this up. Know your phone is not listening to you. They don't have to. You leave enough information out there in your day-to-day travels. They don't have to. The other thing, at the size of these companies, their risk, what they have to lose is so massive, it wouldn't be worth it to them. It's easier to just shotgun you ads than it is for them to listen to you and get busted. Now, there has been, security situations here and there, but those things are normally squelched really quickly, and just know it's not worth it. The other thing to know, in the recording of this podcast, all 21 minutes of it, the file size is almost 300 megabytes right now, and I'm currently recording in mono, and I, fix it up later in post. Your phone is not sending 300 megabytes of data every 20 minutes. You would run out of data plan very quick. So that's not it. Now, I'm looking at my IG live feed as I say this, so sorry about the awkward pause, but Troy asked a good question. What about Alexa? The Internet of Things, or IoT devices. IoT devices only listen during the wake word, and the wake word activates the microphone. It listens for a question and it turns off. If you think your Alexa is listening 24/7, go into your router, find the IP address of your Alexa device. And again, if you want to know how, I can show you how to do this. And you can actually watch through a network monitor, which you can download free, and you can watch how much data Alexa is sending back to Amazon. And it will be so negligible that you'll know that it's not listening all the time either. But when you say, hey, A-word, you will see the thing spike, and you will see how much data is needed to send that request to Amazon and back for the answer to your stupid question, like, are the Chiefs definitely going to lose in the Super Bowl? And the answer is yes, Raider Nation. So, Troy, good question, but yeah, they don't have to listen to you there either. Yeah, it's kind of creepy because most people just don't realize how Facebook Pixel and Google AdWords trackers work and how they're able to miraculously throw together all these algorithms to tell you exactly what you need when you need it. And the part that's the most creepy about this, if you ask someone in the industry, they don't know how it works either. These machine learning algorithms are so complex, and there are so many of them. The people that built them can barely tell you that how they're able to pull off what they pull off. So it's gotten a little out of hand, but just know, long and short of it, end of story, your phone is not listening to you, okay? Get over it. No one wants to listen to you anyway. Yes, Troy, it is the math. Anyway, so that has been Is the Phone Listening to You? Spygate version XYZ on the Solid Podcast with Doc Rock. I am so happy to be back in the podcasting game. Sorry for the long sabbatical. I can't wait to get this episode edited and sent out to you, but to let you know how you can find the next one. If you got this by accident, or your friend shared it with you, or you don't know how you did it, just landed up in your feed, you go to solid.fm. That's solid.fm. That's where the podcast lies. Again, the soon to follow accompanying YouTube video with explanations as to how to set your settings so you don't have to get tracked. That will be on youtube.com/DocRock. And the website is Doc Rock Tips, because I'm here giving you a tip. Thank you guys so much for listening. So happy to be back, and we'll see you in a week. Thank you for listening to the Solid Podcast by Doc Rock. I'm Doc Rock. Ahui ho. Yay! Troy, what the heck is XYZZY?